All right. We are back for the RTTY contest. I don't think I'll need my second camera for this, so I'll just give it a little time here. If you go over to contestcalendar.com, there is a SPDX RTTY contest listed. It says it's a worldwide RTTY contest. Everything except the work bands. The exchange is the SP is for Poland, I believe. The signal report plus your province if you're in Poland. If you're not in Poland, it's the a signal report plus your QSO number. Get myself in the camera here. All right. That's because my monitor is a little off. Right there. And that'll let me slide right there. Okay. The program that I use for RTTY is called LDG. The companion program for that is FLRig, which lets you control your radio. So I have FLDigi set up to talk to FLRig. So what I'll have to do, if you look right here, you can see it says CW. That has to be set to data mode. You can either click the drop down here or set your mode to data. Since we're on 20 meters, we're going to go upper sideband. And the program itself also has to be set to RTTY. Down here it says CW. You go under op mode and look down here for RTTY. It's going to be RTTY 45. So you want to say data and make sure the width is at 3000, just like for WSJTX if you were doing FT8 or something like that. And you will notice that you get these two bars on the screen here. The signals will pop up here, and you have to put those bars on top of the signals. Let me see if I can find some. There's one out to the left right there. Let's see, I don't have that set in. Let me plug this cable in. Might have to turn it up. See that signal out to the left there? When I click there, it'll start showing, well, it'll start trying to decode. And I have my squelch set over here on the right to very low. The signal should be way up here before you start decoding. If you just leave it without the squelch turn on, it'll just start decoding everything, and your screen will fill up with a bunch of useless information. So set your squelch on and put it about halfway here. Now, for some reason with this version of LDG, it has what's called a signal browser, where you're supposed to see the signals over here and just click on it. But I can't get that to work unless I go View and then Signal Browser, which opens another window, and then this main window starts working. So I'm going to just leave that other window in the back and use this window. So instead of me clicking way over here, I can just click here where the letters are. You see it's close to it, but not exactly. Well, it was starting to decode there. That moved away from it. So if I go back up one, oh, there it is right there. You can see it decoding right here. VE3MZD is calling. But before I do that, I got to set some things up. I almost forgot. I got to set it up for the exchange. Normally, you could click here in the blue box, and you can type in what you want. And then you hit transmit receive here. And once it's done, you click the button again and it'll stop transmitting. There's some shortcut buttons up here. If there was something in this blue box and I hit this TX button, it would send that information and then stop. But I have all of these different macro buttons that I can configure. So I want to, let's see if I minimize that, if it'll keep working. Yeah, I think I remember if you minimize it, it doesn't work, but you can leave it in the background. See how it's minimized and it's not working? That signal's a little off to the right. Okay, when I get that signal off to the right, you can see it decodes a little better here when those two lines are lined up on those two. But back to the exchange. So if I'm calling CQ, I want to say CQ SPDX. I'm going to right click on this menu button here. And the label that you see there is here. So I want that to say CQ SPDX. And I'm just going to do my call 2 times instead of 3. And these are just macros. You select them from over here on the right. If you click something and then drag it over. No, you have to hit this arrow. I'm sorry. You hit that arrow, it drags it over there. Now you can also type in that same information, but I just want, this macro says put the radio in transmit mode. It says send this CQ SPDX with my call twice. And then it says put the radio in receive mode. Now, if you hit close here, it's not going to save your changes. You have to hit apply first and then hit close. Now you see this one down here is just calling CQ test. So I'm going to close this. I already hit apply. Now when someone else calls CQ and I want to send my call sign, I have another button set up here. So I'm going to right click this my call. And it's going to send their call, which is this. And it's going to say from my call sign. So this is just a macro that does that. I don't have to hit apply because I'm not making a change here. And then they're going to send something back. And then I want to send a response. So I'm going to modify this macro, and the macro should have a signal report plus the QSO number. So let's do this. So I would send their call first, followed by my call to let them know that I'm talking to them. I'm going to send a 599. And then they have a macro down here for the number of the QSO. I got to go down and find it though. Let's see what it is. Number QSO Rex. I know where I can get it from, but I want to show you how to select it from a list. Okay, it's the contest counter. So if you click that and then move it over to the right, that'll just plug it into your macro. So you're sending their call, my call, 599, and then a counter. So I want to hit apply there, and then I want to hit close. And then I have a final that I will send. I right click again, that macro. I just said thank you, their call, and a 73 from my call. That would be the close. Now to look at that counter to see what it's currently set to, I have another macro down here that just prints the counter. It'll print my name, what the current counter is. That's all it does. So when I click here, left click, you see my counter is at 001. That's where I want it to be. If that counter was, let's say I did 10 contacts, closed FLDG, and then came back, when I open FLDG again, it's going to reset the counter back to 1. So I would have to look at my log and see how many contacts I have and then set the counter. But I have, of course, a macro. So when I right click this macro, I've labeled it counter plus 1. And that macro is this INCR, which is right here. That just increases the counter. Alright, so what I want to do is set up a new logbook for this. It says new. All the FLDigi logs are stored there. Let's call it SPDX 2026. Let's give it that name. Let's hit save. In order for that counter to increase, you have to log the QSO. And of course, there's a macro that says log the QSO and then increase the counter. So whenever I click that log QSO button, it's going to log it and it's going to increase my counter. That way I can just import it into QRZ. Okay, for FLDigi, you have to keep an eye on your ALC, just like WSJTX. I found that if I put the output to my audio device on the radio to about 32 here, it keeps the ALC down. So I'm going to switch this to ALC, which you can't see because my other camera's not there. And I'm going to minimize that. Okay, I was hearing the signal and it stopped. Let's see if I can get some to come back. RTTY, data upper sideband. Our width is at 3000. We may have to scroll back down to find some more. Now there's some other signals there that are PSK and all other types of signals. But I'm looking for RTTY. There's some RTTY. This out to the right here is not RTTY. The RTTY will be the 2 bars like that. Alright, so we got someone calling CQ, but it cut off. Cut off really bad. May have to go down a little bit. Oh, another thing about FL Rig, the frequency is displayed in this box right here, where my mouse is moving. This is the actual frequency. So if you have this at 1487.3, it's going to show a different frequency here. It has something to do with the data offset that you set up when you configure data modes. So when you go to log this, it's going to log it as 14087. So if someone says, hey, I'm on 14094, you come in here, you type 14094, you're actually on, well, that's not a good example because it's not showing it right. But there's someone out to the right there. Let me get them real quick first. Alright, CQ test VE3MDZ. Now when I click this, it's going to put it up in this box where it says call. And that's going to be used by those macros. So he stopped calling test. So I'll send my call. So it sends his call first, and it sends my call 2 times. Hopefully he sees it. Alright, and it's not responding, so apparently they didn't see it. Alright, we'll send my call one more time. Again, that macro is using this call sign right here. Alright, no response. So I'm going to move down. There's some more RTTY there. My browser's not working again. Ah, what happened? What happened? There's some FT8 or something. CQ SPDX from W4BHJ. So I click that, it replaces his name up there. And I'm going to send my call. I'll send his call from me. He answers with my call. Well, he started with my call, but then I didn't see it. There's some digital stuff out to the right, out to the left, I'm sorry. And here he is with my call again, 599041. And I will answer him. $599,001. And he called CQ again. Now there's a box up here. Where is it? Where you can note that. Click on the notes here. No, that's not it. There's some way that you can go here. Blah blah blah. AZ op. UDH. You have to be able to put in his 041 somewhere. Well, I'm going to log it. I'm going to go ahead and log it first. Log the QSO. That logs it, and it increases my counter. So when I go in and look at my log, it's there. There's a tab here for contest. I sent 001. He sent 041. There's somewhere you can put that in. I got to find out where it is. All right, my power is 30 watts. I'm going to update that. And I'm going to close it. I'm going to look for that option. There's somewhere where you can put in the 041. I think I might have just put it in notes before. Maybe that's where I put it before. Alright, so let's look for another CQ. KB7AZ. Click this name and put it there. Let's see if he calls CQ again. KB7AZ. And I've been seeing ham alerts from Kim out in California, K6YYL. She's been doing RTTY most of the morning. I want to see if I can reach her as well. W4BHJ. Now I know that I worked him already, so if I click on his name, it highlights it in red there. It's because it's already in my log, and I don't want to log it a second time. I believe this is PSK31 out here to the left. I thought I had a chat window somewhere. There it is. Wouldn't want that to get full. We'll put that always on top. Let's see. I haven't really been watching my ALC, but I'll take a look at it this time. So we can clear that out, look for another CQ. It's getting lower. It's getting higher. I'll look at that one. That's the one I just did. See, this signal browser has to be open. Can't be minimized. It may be specific to this 4.20 version. And I don't know if this is a current version or an older version. I'm not seeing a lot, so I will move down a few. And there's some traffic. That might be FT4 out to the left there. But there's some RTTY right here. I'm going to click on it this time and see if I can hear it. And you may get more signals at night because it's a contest and people will be up trying to do the contest. I just wanted to get my LDG set up and test it. This WB4 is everywhere. I can't go up or down. Alright, I went to 92.5. There's one right there. Somebody said CQ right there. Alright, that's the same station. So I'm going to click over here somewhere where there's no traffic, and I'm going to call CQ. And my ALC is at nothing. I'll give it a few cycles to see. We're sending CQ for RTTY. Alright, I'm decoding on here. Alright, there's a WB8 SIG. So I got WB8 SIG in my call box here. Waiting for another CQ. I'm going to send him my call, see if he responds. He's down low on the thing here. I don't know what that means. Alright, there's my response. KI5 Whiskey Whiskey Tango. And I'm going to answer him by clicking my answer macro. And you see it's 002. And I'm going to put in the notes 599. 599. What did he send? 064. 599064. I'm going to save that by hitting log QSO. And I noticed the two other guys were sending their number 2 times. So I'm going to send my number a second time. You don't have to select it from the drop down. You can just type it in if you know what it is. And remember, you have to hit apply here. Apply, then close it. And you go looking for other signals. There's that WB8 SIG again. I don't think he heard me before. There's something up here. I'm going to go right in there and call CQ. I got a spot from Hammers for my RTTY. It says 140945. Alright, here's another CQ right here. Talk to you, WB8 SIG. You didn't answer. WB8 SIG. I tried to get him before, didn't respond. Alright, no response. I'm going to move up to 93. Send a CQ. CQ SPDX. My ALC is still at nothing, so I'll move it up a click. And my ALC is barely at 1, so I'll leave it at that. I usually wait till the signal drops down below here before I send another CQ. That'll give people time to respond. Where's this thing at? Here. Expect. Like this last spot that I got where it says 14094.8. You look in this box, it's 14094.760. So it's not the 14093. So I don't know why it works that way, but just be aware that's how it works. If you're in the chat, just say hello. I won't hold you, I'll just say hello. And we're sending another CQ. Now I know that Kim listens on 094. So I'm on 945. I don't know if I'm in her ham alert though. I put her in my ham alert because she always does RTTY. No response. Okay, the first two were hunted. We hunted them. We found them. Trying to get someone to answer my CQ though. And RTTY's usually above 80. I don't know if there's any specific frequency that you're supposed to use. If there is, I'm not using it. I just went above 80. Not hearing much. Alright, no one's entering my CQ, so I'm going to move around and hunt. Bunch of signals there. That's not RTTY though, that's some other digital format, I guess. There's some RTTY. There's some strong RTTY. Now that signal didn't show up in the browser, so I just clicked on it because I could see it. AI60, thank you. There's a stronger signal up above. I want to see if this other one's going to come back though. Usually when they make a contact, they stay within these same bars that they just sent in. But of course this was not. But I could send him a CQ if he's sitting there writing something down or putting it in his log. And usually the only times you will see RTTY is when there's some type of contest. RTTY's a little bit older digital format. I'm hearing something right here, kind of. Now see, I just moved from over here, so a signal's going to pop up all of a sudden. KI7BKL, it looks like. Send you my call, KI7BKL. I clicked his name here, and then I hit my call, and it sent the macro. It says again. And my auto tuner, the LDG Z-11Pro II, has a 30 watt limit on your digital. So I'm sending at 30 watts. He's done it again and again 3 times. If he doesn't get it this time, that means he can't hear me. There's KI5 Whiskey Whiskey Tango. He sent me an 02. I'm going to send him an 03. He says again. And I say again because I clicked the wrong button. I meant this answer button right above it. KI7BKL. It says QSB, QSB. See right here, he says QSB. All the other stuff is just noise. Maybe if I turn off this noise reduction, I can hear him better. Alright, he says 73, thank you and good luck. Alright. I sent him a 003. I'm going to put that in the notes and I'm going to log it. Alright, I'm going to scroll around, see if I can find some more. Something down here. I'm hearing something right there. So I just put the mouse over it, double click, not double click it, single click it. That's the same guy, KI7BKL. Now when I start getting around the 100, I don't really expect to hear anything. So I'll go back down to 80 and work my way back up. I hear that FT4. That's pretty. Once you listen to it a few times, you kind of know what it sounds like. And again, it's the middle of the day, so you won't get a lot of signals. Oh, there's a strong signal right there. Somebody sending, sounds like somebody sending CW. See, this NXMXW was talking to DX station, CM8JFL. There's all kind of noise on here. But I saw N800 sent a CQ, so I clicked there. Is there any way to turn that down? I don't need to hear all that noise. Alright, so I'm not getting much as far as ready, but you get an idea of how it works when you go look at your logbook. You have all that information there. Then you have the option, logbook, ADIF, export. And you can export that log. You're kind of just trying to find N800. There he is, N800. You're just looking for a signal. And you send their call so that they know that you're talking to them. If you just respond, they have no idea who the response is for. And you have to hope that they can hear you. Apparently not hear me, N800, N800. So I will move on. See a lot of stuff out on the waterfall if my camera was on, which is not. N800 is sending a bunch of CQs, but I can't reach them. I could get rid of the autotuner, but I don't want to. I usually have success making digital contacts using 30 watts. Here's 9A1 CCY calling CQ. I'm going to see if I get my other camera back up. "9A1 CCY." See, they didn't send a. Oh, he's talking to N800. "9A1 CCY." Since he's finished with that other one, I'm going to respond. Looks like I can hear the N800 and the NA1CCY, but they can't hear me. All right, let's get this camera plugged in. Whoops. Zoom may be too close there. Let's take a look and see. Yeah, I'm zoomed in too tight. Video. There's something with the zoom. Go out on the zoom. Right about there. Can't see the time on the top though. Well, we just want to see the waterfall, not worried about the time. Let's get it right there. I can make some adjustments here. There's the time right there. Alright, so there's the second camera. You can see the waterfall. Got to get my screen over here. Got to find me somewhere to call CQ again. I'm down at 88. This N800 can't hear me. I'm going to move up again. I'm going to go to 94, where Kim normally is. 93 it says. I'm messing around with the numbers on the left here until it says 14094 over here on the right. Go right about there and send CQ. So there's my CQ again. And there's somebody right to the right of me here sending the same thing. Let's see. It's kind of the way it works when I start doing RTTY. You click on one, you don't hear anything. You see something out to the left there, so you wait. You finally move over to the left to try to hear that over there. And then that thing that you were waiting on originally comes back. So I'm going to click it there and stay and call CQ while looking at my ALC. I don't know how the spots work on Hamilert, if they will pick me up a second time in an hour. Plus the frequency is too close to respot, so need to look at the DX cluster. It says 93.6, which matches right here. This is on 94 before. I'll just keep sending CQs. Not much going on in the daytime. I will try again at night. If there's more activity, I'll probably come back online. Just remember, you have to increase that counter. Like my counter is currently at 4. When I send out my next, when I log my next contact, it'll be with 004. When I send out my my macro for the answer, it'll be 004 here. Alright, I'm going to try one more thing. I'm going to go down. I have to bring the audio back up. There's something out to the right faintly. Too faint to decode. It's not passing my squelch over here. There's one. It might be 9A1 CCY. I'll let him come back with another CQ. There's the other CQ. What's all these numbers he's sending? Alright, I'm going to respond 9A1CCY. If he hears me. Says again. There's a response with my call sign. There's my answer with the 004. Says again. Says thank you. 9A1CCY-CQ. So I will log that. 599260. And I have to hit log. Log QSO right there. Alright, I'm going to clear it. 9A1CCY. So let's see where that was from. Let's go 9AY. Nine AYCC1 does not exist. 9A1CCY. Alright, that's all the way in Croatia. Somewhere it says how far that is. 5,640 miles. That's with 30 watts on my 991A. So that's going to be a little bit better tonight because there will be more stations out there. I don't know what time it is in Croatia right now. I hear another strong signal here. I'm going to click on it and wait. I can still hear the other signal. It's down to the left, but since I'm not clicked on it, it's not decoding it. Alright, this signal moved a little bit to the left. Need to clear that. Signal keeps moving. I wonder if it's two different callers. You can still see in the signal browser the CCY station there. I'm not going to move this time if the signal's out to the right. It's out to the left again. I'm not going to move. I'm going to wait and see if a second signal comes through. It could be two different CQs. Okay, that one says again. DL9CF, that's a German station he's hearing. I believe DL is German. So I'm not moving off what I'm hearing. WV4P, sending my call. Everything's much easier when you've got these macros you can use. There's my response right there, 340. If you wanted to type something in the blue box here, you could go ahead and type it and send it. But I just keep everything in macros. Alright, WV4P 599340. I will log that contact. Now let's see if there was another station just out to the left of this. Where my mouse is right here is where I'm listening. I was hearing something just to the left of it. We're gonna give it a second. No, they gone. Let's see if this is the same signal I was hearing before. That's even out further to the right. Nothing up on the browser. Be right there just in case. I think that's the guy just worked, WV4FP. Alright. Let's move up some more. Well, there's another signal. That's the CCY. That's the one I already have. So I've got both of these already. I was trying to get on 94. I was trying to call CQ on 94 to see if K6YYL could hear me. But you can see it's changed already. It does that constantly in FLDG. We want to be on 14094 and we want to send a CQ. Again, keep your eye on this box. That's where your frequency is. See, it just barely moved. But I'm going to set it again. And continue sending CQs to see who I can get. It's 5:32 Central here. I'll probably grab something to eat. Come back and see if I can find anyone. There's somebody up higher than me there. Did I get you on 20 meters there, James? Darn it. Alright, that high signal, I gotta go check it out and see what it is. Of course, it's a little off now. If you're off just about a little bit on this bar, sometimes it doesn't decode. I already got you. I was going to check to see if I did just get James on some frequency. I don't remember what it was. That's because it's still in hammers. Hammer time, of course. Hammers is not open currently. It opens on my second screen, of course. Today is that. Yeah, I got James on 20 meters already, so I don't need James again. There's a signal down below. It's that same CCY station. Alright, I'm gonna go up 9. I want to be on 934. Or 94, sorry. Then you have to send your CQ. I've already talked to both of those. I'm going to try to space out the CQs, so I think we can all send at the same time. It's just you will hear the strongest signal. So if they're going, I try to let them go ahead and send, and I'll wait. But they just sent 2 in a row. Oh, that's a POTA spot. That's why I got that spot again from James. The first one was a reverse beacon spot. Comes an answer. KEOT. Not popping up. KE0IAT may have responded, but it doesn't show up. It won't let me copy the call sign. Damn it. I'm going to say KE0IAT. I'm going to send question marks. Yeah, that's where it is. It keeps adding stuff to the end of it. That's what it is. So I'm going to say KE0 IAT. I'm going to send him an answer. It'll be number 6. Hey, Randy from Chicago. I'm just doing a little RTTY. Alright, I got an answer from KE0IAT. So I will send him my final. Thank you, 73. Alright. And he said thank you really quick. So that was KE0IAT. He sent me a 599 and a 018. I'm going to log it. Move on to the next one. I was calling CQ, so I'll hit CQ again. Randy, I'm using FLDG to send RTTY. There's a Poland DX contest going on right now, and they're I don't think Poland is anywhere near our time zone, so they're probably not fully awake yet. So I'm getting a few contacts here, and I think I will get a lot more at nighttime. No, FLDigi is a separate program. It's separate totally from WSJTX. FLDigi will let you do multiple data modes, like all of these. This Contessa, MSK, Olivia, the PSKs. It'll also do CW. If you've got a decent signal on it, it will decode the CW for it, and it'll let you send CW. I gotta keep remembering to hit CQ though. There are other programs that do RTTY, but I don't know. I don't use them because everything's built into FLDigi. And I originally tried FLDigi because I wanted to decode CW, but I found that if you don't have a perfect signal, you don't get a perfect decode. There's a station up here, this W Victor 4 Papa. I've already made a contact with him, so that's why I'm not moving up to see what he's doing there. You keep your eye on this section down here. This is where the signals are, and you have to line up these bars on those signals. Like you hear that one, I'm going to line it up right there, and then it'll start decoding right here. And if the signal's strong enough, it'll show up on this signal browser over here, and you can just click it one time, and it'll move the bars for you. Now you see his signal moved out to the left just a little bit there. That might be someone else. So I'm going to check it. No, that's him. That's still Whiskey Victor 4 Papa. So when I see a call sign right there, I just click on it, and it pops it into this box. But this box turns red because I've already talked to him. I made a contact with him earlier. That just lets me know that it's already in my logbook. So I'm going to go back down here, call CQ a few more times. Here we go, CQ. And FLDigi has, Randall, I'm repeating this for you. I said it before, but I'm just going to repeat it. FLDigi has a bunch of macros that you can use. You can normally type into this box right here, and then hit this T/R, that's transmit/receive, and it'll send whatever you put in the box. The other option is it has all these little buttons that are macros. So if I right click on this CQ button, this is the macro that I've assigned to that button. I'm telling it to start transmitting and then send this information. These little macros are taken from the list over here. You see one that you want, you click on it, you click this left button, it puts it over here. Now if you already know what it is, you can just type it in to that window. And you have to hit apply there and then close. And then instead of you typing CQ all over again, you just click the button and it sends it for you. See where I had my call, it puts in my call sign. I think I listened to that one already. Yeah, it's a slow Saturday for me. Chance of rain outside, which means it will only rain if I go outside. So I'm just messing around with things. Did a little POTA hunting earlier today. Had a problem with the The 991A, apparently something in the FL rig software locked the CW speed to something really, really low. And all I had to do is go into the front menu on the 991A and just change the speed of the CW and then put it back where it was. It took me it took me about an hour to figure out that I was sitting here keying CW, but no one was hearing me. I finally went to a SDR up in Utah that I can normally be heard on, and the only thing I was hearing was a dash. Every time I tried to key in something, I just heard a dash. That was it. So I figured that out and moved on to this RTTY thing. But I think the RTTY's gonna pick up tonight. I don't think it's gonna be too fast right now. Let me check this one. I'm pretty sure I've got this one already. I clicked those two double lines there to line it up, and it should decode here when they transmit again. Yeah, I've already got Whiskey Victor 4 Papa. So let's move down a few. Well, I want to move back to 94. And the weird thing about this FLDG program, at least when it's connected to my Yaesu radio with this version of FLDG, the actual frequency that's going to be recorded is in this little white box where it says FREQ, even though you type the frequency in over here. So when I go to log this, well, let me see who this is first, if I can decode it. As always, when I move over to see what's going on, just talk to you, Whiskey 4 VP. What was I saying? When you put your frequency here, there's an offset that's used when you configure digital modes for the Yaesus, and I think it has something to do with that, because this number never matches this number over here. So I want to go to 14094. Gotta play around with the numbers until I get it there. Now the numbers don't have to be exact. You can be on 14094.5 and they will still hear you on 14094. I'm going to send out a few more CQs. See if anyone can hear me. Of course, as soon as I start sending, someone starts sending out to the right of me. But I'm not going to leave. I'm going to keep calling CQ. Because as soon as I leave to go see what that sound was over here, something's going to pop up over here. There's KOVW answering me. And I will send him, him or her, the call sign, their call sign, my call sign, signal report, and I am at 007. He is sending me 37, number 37. And since I'm finished, I tell him thank you, send him a 73, and we're done. And all I have to do is log the exchange and save it. Alright, so I'm going to call CQ again. I'm not going to chase that number, that sound out to the right. VE2FXL. I'm responding to VE2FXL. You see the number has increased. I've got a macro set up to increase that number. He sent me a 174, I believe. I'm going to say again, so send it again. Alright, 174, 174. Alright, that was Victor Echo 2, Foxtrot X-Ray Lima, 599174. 599 174, and I will save it. And I again will not chase that signal out to the right. I will call CQ again. That was a whopping 2 in a row. So I will continue to call CQ here. Not chase this signal out here. And you can see I've moved slightly to 14094366. Signal browser shows that WV4P is still sending. 1, 2. I've sent 2 CQs. I'm send a few more. And I believe when I export the logs for this, it's going to put the notes into a notes field, but I can pull out this exchange and put it into whatever ADI formatted fields they needed, if I decide to log to the contest. I usually just log these to QRZ. I don't log the contest. Alright, I'm going to move over to that signal that's been going for 2 or 3 times. You watch, as soon as I move over there, something else is going to happen. Now there's another signal down on, and you can't see it, so I have to move that up. There's another signal out here to the left, at the very left. And I'm watching this one right here. I don't know who's sending and who's receiving over here. Okay, that's still WV4P. I've already got him. W6SX. I'll send him my call. Send the call twice, just in case. He's responding KI5 Whiskey Whiskey Tango. I don't know what that WUO is. I'll assume he's saying 79. So you sent this WUO. Don't know what that means. I'll just take the 79. The number is what I'm looking for in the exchange. And now everybody stops sending CQs. Alright, that's the W4 station out there. I'm going to get right there. It's kind of like FT8 where you don't want to send your signal the same place somebody else is sending a signal, because you're right on top of them. And I try to wait till after their signal is gone, so that if someone's listening, they can hear both of them. 2200. What time is it now? Almost 2300. CQ. Again, not a lot of stations reporting, but again, the time in Poland. I wonder what time it is in Poland. Blah, blah, blah. Darn, that's a loud signal. It's in the same spot, though. That's the W4. What time is it in Poland? Oh, it's 12:55 a.m. in Poland. Which is UTC plus 2. So they are... They are in the middle of the night. That's where there's not too much traffic. So let's say... So there should be some traffic early in the morning from Poland, since it is a Poland DX contest. Alright, I am sending CQs for the RTTY DX contest here. There's one guy that's up there still sending. I've already talked to him. There's somebody responding. I didn't get anything from him. I got part of my call sign here. KA5WSS. I'm gonna say KA5WSS question, and I'm gonna manually send it by hitting TR. I believe that was KA5WSS. But he didn't respond, so I'm going to call CQ again. I'm supposed to look that up, I thought. I thought this thing was supposed to look up the state. I'll have to go back and look at that, but you can see right here someone put my call sign, but they didn't put anything else. I was hoping he would come back, but doesn't look like he is. Alright, CQ, CQ. That's the same guy, the W4. I've already got him. Is there a RTTY thing over here? No RTTY. Somebody's tuning up. Whiskey for Victor Papa. I've already talked to you, sir. There's my spot on 140941 for RTTY. It says it's a 10 dB signal. 10 dB. That's pretty good for 30 watts. Alright, so I'm not picking up much here for RTTY during the day. I'm going to listen to it tonight. If I hear anything else RTTY, I will come back on. There's some other digital modes. You see all this stuff over here? But you have to match your mode down here. Let me see if I can. Not there. It's op mode. I don't believe it's Olivia. Olivia's a lot wider. Nope. You can tell. You can look at the length of the bars will kind of give you an indication if you're using the right mode. These aren't matching up. I believe this is. I thought that was PSK. There's some more RTTY again. Well, I got a hotkey for RTTY. Or a macro button, I should say. N800. I tried you earlier. I couldn't get you. I'm going to try you again. N800. That long pause usually means no response. Not hear me? Checking my meter here. I am sending out. Alright, NOO can't hear me. VE2FXL, I believe I've talked to you already. One way to find out. VE2FXG. Signal keeps bouncing around. Yeah, VE2FXL, I've already talked to. That N800 I can't get. There's a different digital mode right there. Guess that's not PSK, but I do hear some RTTY. Again, if you're going to use LDG, make sure you use these macro buttons because it makes things a lot easier. Alright, who is this? WA7PPV. I've already talked to you. Or no, I haven't. Let's see if this one comes back then. And again. There's another digital signal out here to the right. That's some other format. So there's a neat number for SPDX. Now that's someone typing in this blue box here manually. The fun thing about this, if you click in this box and you hit the transmit button, you can just start typing and they will see what you're typing, including your backspaces. If you backspace, they'll see that. And then once you stop transmitting, it'll keep going until it catches up to where you're typing, and then it'll stop. It's a strong signal too. He said number. He said, "Do you want?" He asked him for a number. He says a number like 001, and put a question mark. And he said, "Yeah." So he sent him that number. QRZ W4UK. W4UK. There's my call. Your signal's pretty strong though for W4UK. He's responding with 067. I'm responding with number 10. He says, "Thank you, QRZ. On to the next one." So I'll do 599067. And have to make sure you log it. Now you could log these separately in whatever log program you use. I just use it in FLDigi because it'll keep track of the number. And again, if you look at this button for log QSO, when I right click it, it says log and then increment the counter. So if you look over here for log somewhere, I'm always coughing on the stream. I don't know why. Somewhere down here it says log. Where is it? See if I can find it. Blah, blah, blah. Tag, receive, transmit. I would think it would be right in this area. Oh, here it is. Log. Log means save the QSO data. And then the INCR is a shortcut to increase the counter. Add 1 to the counter. So I'm saying log it, add to the counter. That way I don't have to sit here and remember what it is. I want to see if I can figure out what this mode is out here. And again, you can look at the size of the bars that come up and kind of figure out if it's anywhere close. So you see it's not decoding here, so it's not that the one that I selected. Might be MSK. Did I just have MSK selected? I'm gonna go on with RTTY while I'm here. I've got a button here for RTTY. RTTY, you're back on. Alright, what do we got now? We got another ham alert. Kilo Echo 8. James is on 14044. Thought I got James. Oh, that's not James. That's a different James. Alright, we're going to have a break in our 14044. We're going to do a little CW real quick. And change it to CW upper sideband. I can hear it. I can hear one side of it. See, I'm still in FL Digi, but since I changed the mode on the radio, it's changed here, but it hasn't changed down here. So I would go op mode CW to set it to CW, and it would try to decode what's in the bars there. Let's see if James is doing a POTA. 14044. Yeah, he's doing a POTA. I want to see if I can get him. It's just a break and you're ready to do a little CW. One, two, three, four, 5-9 Ohio. But James is in Florida, so I'm not hearing James really strong. And this is another example of the FL Digi. If it has a strong signal, it can decode okay. But if the signal's not strong, it's not going to decode that well. I'm decoding that guy pretty good. But not James, who is the one that spotted. I keep hearing Michigan. What park is he at? Let me clear this. Go back to it and copy. Yeah, that park is in Florida. But the activator's in Michigan, so this is not James. This is someone else. Is it imposter? So I want to go back to data mode. I'll do it in FL Digi so you can see it. You just hit the drop down list there. You want data U, data upper sideband. You want your width at 3000. You want your mode set to RTTY. You go op mode and look for RTTY right there. We want RTTY 45. That's the most commonly used one, at least for these contests that I've seen. And then you go somewhere around 1480. And you start listening and looking for signals. I believe that is FT4, that whizzing sound. But once you hear RTTY, you'll always remember what it sounds like. If you're old enough to remember the old, like the little Atari computers and the TI computers that were all in one, it was like a keypad, and the computer was built into the keypad. They had an attachment that you can put on for storage, and that storage went to a cassette drive. And the sound that RTTY makes is the exact same sound that you hear on one of those storage drives. Back in the day, I had an Atari 800 XL, and I got the external external storage for it, which was a cassette drive, and it used just regular cassettes. Alright, let's see if I can find these. Might be the same people, W4UK. Yeah, I did save W4UK. Just making sure because I didn't clear it. That's N80, well, N800 that I can't seem to communicate with. So I'm going to move up some. There's another digital signal I don't recognize. Some more RTTY. RTTY, our friend. I click the bars on those two to have it decode. That doesn't look like RTTY though. It says CSP56. Those bars don't look like RTTY bars. But I'm hearing something. I don't know what it is. So I'm going to try a little bit over to the right here. Nope, that's not it. Alright, CQ from KE0IT. I already got you. It turns red. That means I've already made a contact with him. 93. Gonna send out a few more CQs. I was getting ready to leave earlier, then I got 3 calls to come in. Or 3 contacts. There's a CQ up there. I missed it. It's that might be the guy, WD4. I've already talked to him several times. I'm gonna go back and call CQ. I keep saying one more time, just one more contact, and I'll be done. One more. Camera's way off. We'll fix that at a later time. Okay, as I was saying before, this contest is the SPDX RTTY contest. You find the rules by going there. It's a Polish contest. They don't appear to be up right now. It's middle of the night. Here are the rules for it. And the program that you use is LDG to do the actual RTTY. You have to remember to set your radio up just like it's doing FT8. It's going to do data upper sideband, 3000 for the width. You have to remember to set the mode down here for LDG. Of course, the camera's in the way. You have to set the mode down here to RTTY. You do that by going into op mode and select RTTY and then RTTY 45. And then you see these, when you move your mouse over this blue area, that's where the signals are coming in. You have to line it up. You will see two bars there that are equal length and they'll fit right in, and you click it one time. The other option you have is to view the signal browser, and that signal browser will show you some of the RTTY that's being heard also. If it's a good strong signal, you can just click on it one time and it'll move the bars for you. But I have found that in the version of LDG that I'm running, they hide the signal browser right here. So you have to just move your mouse right there and drag it to the right. And this browser itself, for me at least, I don't know if it's for everybody else, it doesn't do anything until you view signal browser. Leave that other signal browser in the background. Don't minimize it, leave it open. Then if it can see anything or decode anything, it'll put it up in the window here, like right there. And you see that was to the left of what I just heard. I'm going to try one more. One more, just one more contact. That's all I need, just one. Okay, so if I hear anything else tonight, I will come back on. Otherwise, I will see you guys later. 73, thank you for watching this little RTTY demonstration.